Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to showcase a 1-bar Oakensoul build for the Stamina Sorcerer, also known as Stamsorc. This build is capable of pulling over 112k on the parse dummy. This build utilizes some of the best gear in the game to pull endgame DPS. I will be using mythics and trial gear, so this is not a super beginner friendly build, but rather more for endgame players who prefer 1-bar builds. I will also do my best to keep it as viable for content as possible, such as offering a flex spot for heals and giving advice on some alternatives to either gear or skills in the video. Anyways, here's the build. So starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points into stamina, and I am running the Thief Mundus. For the race, I am a Dark Elf. Other alternatives include Khajiit, Wood Elf, and Orc probably. So for food, we're going to be running RTM Takeaway Broth. For content, a cheaper and just as good alternative would be Dubious Cameron Throne. And if you're parsing or need more sustain, then Lava Food Soup and Salt Rice is always the go-to. So for potions, this is where it gets a little bit different. Because Oakensoul gives us access to the major buffs that Stam needs, which is Major Savagery and Major Brutality, we're going to be opting to run Heroism Pots. Heroism Pots can be created or bought, but the combination I used was Columbine, Dragon Realm, and Dragon's Blood. So what this does is it gives a line of Restore Magicka, plus Major Intellect, Restore Stamina, plus Major Endurance, and Minor Heroism. So these potions do cost a lot to make, so make sure you have 3 points from the Alchemy skill line Medicinal Use to benefit from the full duration of the potions. A cheaper alternative, although not as good, will be running just regular Essence of Stamina. So for CP, for the blue tree, we're going to be running Master at Arms, Deadly Aim, Wrathful Strikes, and Backstabber. For the red tree, Balanced Vitality, Fortified, Rejuvenation, and Bloody Renewal. So for the gear, we're going to be running 5 pieces of Zovgin paired with 5 pieces of Reliquin, 1 piece Slimecrawl, and 1 piece Oakensoul. So breaking it down, in the main hand, we have a Zovgin Dagger with a flame damage enchant traded in Nirnhoned. On the offhand, Zovgin Dagger with a poison damage enchant traded in Charged. For the head slot, we have 1 piece Slimecrawl in Light traded in Divines. And for the body, we have 5 pieces of Reliquin Body, all with max stam enchants traded in Divines, and 1 piece of Zovgin Body with a max stam glyph traded in Divines. And for the jewelry, we have 2 pieces of Zovgin Jewelry, both with weapon damage enchants traded in Bloodthirsty. And lastly, an Oakensoul ring with a weapon damage enchant traded in Bloodthirsty as well. So for skills, we're going to be running Crystal Weapon, Bound Armaments, Daedric Prey, Volatile Familiar, Twilight Tormentor, and Greater Storm Atronach. So this rotation is going to revolve around our Crystal Weapon. In other words, we're going to cast Crystal Weapon and then a skill in between, and then Crystal Weapon again. And the priority for your other skills would be Daedric Prey, Volatile Familiar, and Bound Armaments. Whenever your Greater Storm Atronach is ready, just prioritize using that first. So closing thoughts, first off, if you feel like your sustain just isn't there, you can opt to use Lava Food Soup and Salt Rice. Next, so your flex spot would probably be your Twilight Tormentor, considering we don't use it, but it does do good passive damage. So if you do need like a heal, I suggest running like Twilight Matriarch. That wouldn't be a bad idea as well. Just keep in mind that if you do swap to that morph, we're already using 2 Magicka skills from Volatile Familiar and Daedric Prey, so you probably won't be able to cast it very much. You could also run the Clan Fear morph instead of Volatile Familiar for a little bit less damage. That way you can get a stamina based heal, or you can just forego all those pet morphs and just run Vigor instead. And another good option would be running Crit Surge, because that would passively heal you. So moving on, so this build does struggle with AoE. You could drop one of your skills and run something like Whirlwind. Either morph is fine if you need more AoE. And as far as alternative gear sets go, instead of running Reliquin on the body, you can always run Coral Riptide. So as far as front bar sets go, the only real alternative if you're going to keep this build is running Orator's Wrath instead of Zovgin. But if you do have crit damage from other sources, you can always opt to run different front bar sets. Some good sets to note are Pillar of Nirn, Advancing Yokeda, and even something like Whirl of Depths would work just fine. As always, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, or would like to request a build, please leave it in the comment section down below, or better yet, come join our Discord. So in terms of builds, I do make builds on request, and most of these builds are actually requested by our community members. If there's a specific build you'd like to see, I will try my best to do it in a timely manner and within the constraints of my skill. Anything from PVE to solo builds, basically anything, I'll give it my best shot. Also, there is a brand new Discord for PlayStation community members. If you're interested in that, I'll leave the link down in the description below. If this video helped in any way, please consider subscribing. And if you like the piggy for this thumbnail, please like the video. And as always, there will be a parse and outfit section at the end. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.